Hi, Math 140. This is going to be a video about linking your Canvas to your MyLab account. And I'd like to start off besides just kind of introducing that is to say that I'm really sorry about messing up with the, what I basically messed up is that inside of the Thomas University bookstore, so this is where you would go, like you'd follow the links to get to this spot and you'd see this book and it says 8th edition. And over the years that I've taught using MyLab, it didn't matter what access code you bought, it like worked. And so I was like, oh, it won't be a big deal. Well, it was a big deal. So 4 of you went ahead and registered for either bought an access code and then went into the process and that messed things up. And so a lot of you read my message this morning. You've purchased possibly this 8th edition access code, or you're waiting to hear from me and you're like, okay, so what are we going to do? And so what I've done is I have deleted the 7th edition MyLab that I created that only 4 of you had actually joined, and I've reached out to those people individually. And what I've done is I have created an 8th edition. And so what I'm going to ask is I'm going to demonstrate how you'll go about creating your account, and you can kind of use this video as a little step-by-step and kind of have it running either on your phone and do the actions on your computer or however you want to do that. And so here we go. So when you get into Canvas, what you want to do is you're going to go into MyLab Mastering over here on the left-hand side. Actually, let me back up for 1 second. Let me go to Student View first. There we go. So you're going to go to MyLab Mastering on the side. It's going to come up to the screen right here, and you will click on that guy. And this screen's going to load. And so a couple things is that I want to ask is that it's going to ask you to either log in or create an account. And so you want to use your Thomas University email address. So that way everything's kind of going through their server. It's just a request to the school. You understand when things go awry with technology, if communication is through Thomas University, they can access it. If you're using your personal Gmail account, we can't see anything. If something gets deleted, we can't see it. But anything that goes to your Thomas University, they can pull that up and take a look at it if there's ever some crazy thing that happens. Okay, so, all right, so here we go. We got this screen right here. So let's just go and talk about this first thing. Okay, first thing is this. For $129, you can go ahead and purchase the access code that's going to get you through this course. All right, you'll notice that in the bookstore, it's $173. So obviously, it's definitely to your advantage to purchase it here. It's exactly the same thing. So I'll just click on this just to show you. And you can see that this says up to 24 months and up to 24 months. And so it's exactly the same thing. And you go and you fill that stuff in, you go ahead and you pay out of pocket. So like when I was going my grad school stuff, I would be in a situation where I would, be getting oh, I just messed up. Let me hit pause real quickly. I'll come back and finish what I was saying. Okay, so for some reason you make the same mistake I just did and you go in the wrong spot, you just have to close out the registration and then reload. Go back into MyLab, click on that guy again, and that'll take you to where you need to be, okay? So when I was in grad school, I knew I was going to have financial aid, and so then I would just keep a little bit of extra money in my financial aid to pay for my books instead of paying directly through the bookstore, and I would get my books off of eBay or off some online bookstore because in grad school you're actually using real textbooks sometimes. So anyway, that's totally up to you. It's your prerogative, okay? Take a look at this one. I'm not 100% sure what this one does right here. It says 18 weeks. It's a little bit shorter period, so you could check that one out. I think that would be good. So you actually could go a little bit less. So I'll go ahead and try that one too while we're looking at this. And you can always fast forward through this if you're like, what is going on? Yeah, so this will get you for $80. You can do 18 weeks, which is more than what you need for the semester. And so just, kind of keep that in mind. And so I'm going to close that out. I'll show you I'll cancel registration. And then this screen will pop up. And what I did was just close that screen out and then reopen. Brings me back to the same screen. Okay. So let's say right now you're going to wait and do the access. You're going to buy your access code when you have your financial aid money. You don't want to pay out of pocket. You want to wait till that money hits. Well, you do have an option here. You can do a temporary access code for 14 days. And so that 100%, you have to pay for this access code. Like, you can't make it through this class on that 14-day. You can't keep doing free ones. So 100%, you can do that to get going. So even at a minimum this week, let's make sure, please, that we create our account using this temporary access code. Because I'm a teacher in this class, I don't have an access code. If you did purchase it from Thomas University, you can click on this one right here, and then you can enter the access code that you got from the bookstore. But I'm just going to do it this way just to show you. So I'm going to continue with temporary. Are you sure you want to? Yes, I want to do the 8th edition. And it's going to load it up for me. Sweet. And so now I'm done. So now I have until August 28th on this access code. So you have, if you do the same thing I'm doing, you have 14 days to find $80 to pay for that access code versus paying $173 from there. All right. So here we go. I'm going to go on in. Notice I said to use your Thomas University, and I have my personal email. That's just because I already have my Thomas University as a teacher, so I can't use my Thomas University email because it says, well, you already have an account, and it won't let me do it. So I'm kind of manipulating the system to show you an example. So please use your Thomas University email address. So go to my courses. Sweet. And so now I'm loaded up, and I'm going to come in. I'm going to see my assignments. And these are the assignments that are going to correspond with, if you watched the welcome video before this one, these are the assignments that are going to correspond with what you have due this week. And so you can see I got my due date. And so we'll just real quickly take a second and run through this process. So I'm going to hit pause just for 1 second. I'll be right back. What I wanted to do is I wanted to open up and show you, like when you look at the topics for week 1, and I kind of refined this since my last video. So you want to take a look at this. The welcome video wasn't as pretty. I forgot to clean this up, and I told you I would in the video. So here it is as a cleaned up version. This is what you're going to see most of the semester. Okay, so first of all is that every test, if you create a formula sheet, basically like examples and formulas, things that you're going to need to be able to use to be able to do and to master the content and the sections for each exam. If you fill that out and you attach it, you actually get extra credit for it in your exam. So that's kind of a cool thing. So that's the first thing you might want to do is, like I said, you can either, I'll just open it up. You can either just like draw this and create it. You don't have to like print this out. You can just like draw the idea and write the formula, right when you're going to use it, how you're going to use it, kind of thing. Like, so this is like doing an example with it. This is like reminding you when you're going to do it, and this is like what it is. And it could be like an example, it could be a formula, it could be a definition, whatever it is like you might want to put on there. And so you keep those and you attach those to your test, and that scores you a good amount of extra. I don't remember off the top of my head. I apologize. All right. And so then you have this list of things you have to do this week. You have 3 sections. And so it says, number 2, read, interact, and take notes with the section PowerPoints. View the textbook videos in Canvas and annotate to remember the key ideas and processes. That could be on your formula sheet. That could be on your PowerPoint PDF if you print that out, or just be on notes on a piece of notebook paper. Then you're going to log into MyLab, preferably using the MyLab mastering link, the one we used over here. Because that way you're connecting the accounts every time. It's like I can see what we really like to see is like, oh, John came in and went into Canvas and logged into MyLab. So I can see all those analytics to be able to make sure that people are spending the time they're supposed to, or should be, to be able to find success in a course. All right, and number 4, we already did that one. So number 5, begin working MyLab problems using Help Me Solve, View an Example, and or Get Help, and then there's different things inside of there. All right, so let's go and take a look at that. So here I am. I'm in my course. Let's open up. I'm gonna jump. No, we'll do section 1. All right, sweet. So I come in here. Remember that if let's say you only get half of these done before it's due next Sunday, then those half will get full credit, and then the ones that are late will have 10% deducted. So here we go. Question number 1. Pull this guy up. Go full screen. Make it nice and big. All right, sweet. So here I am, and maybe you've already watched the video. Like, that's the tricky part about this course is that's why it's going to be somewhat time consuming, is because it does take time for you to actually like watch the videos and like go through the process. So you come to this problem and you're like, oh, I don't remember how to plot this. Okay, no problem. You can click on Help Me Solve. And it'll walk you through and say, when plotting order pair, and you can read that and continue. And then they'll say X is the first number, Y is the second number, continue. And obviously the videos would also review this. So you would get some review in the video if you've already watched it. Then they're kind of asking you, would the -3, would that move you to the left or to the right? And so let's say you said to the right. And you could say check answer. And they'll tell you, no, recall, positive numbers are to the right, negative numbers are to the left. And you're like, oh, that's right. So you come back, they show you, say, okay, continue. All right. And you're like, oh, the 3. Oh, yeah, I mean the 7. 7 goes up. That's positive. So then you'd say up. Sorry about that. And you'd say, check your answer. And it'd say, nice work. And so if you just wanted to like practice another one of those, you click continue. And let's see what else. Close. And then, so now they give you another one. And so you could be like, oh, okay, so I got it. I go -8, +6. Oops, went up too high. Let go. There we go. It's like, all right, got it. I checked my answer. Sweet. So next question. So, but I can actually go back if I wanted to. Where's the go back? Right there. I can go back to question 1. And I can try another one. So if I just want to practice that to make sure I got it down, like do a couple to make sure it's solidified, you can totally do that. And then you can move on. So like, let's see, I can just go ahead and already have that question mastered, right? So that's kind of the cool part about this is that I've already mastered question 1. I don't know why that thing's following me around. So I can just move on. All right, sweet. And now I'm on the question 2. And you'll notice it's 0 out of 1. I've got to get mastery on this. I've got to figure it out. So it's actually a similar type of question. I can look at an example. So instead of help me solve, I can look at an example to walk me through. And just same thing. I'm just like blowing through it because I don't want to be too wordy on this video. And then the other option I have is I have more help. So like, well, I have a video. So this will pull up like probably a link to one of the videos possibly, and you can watch the video real quickly and learn the process. So your learning process isn't a situation where you sit and like have to pay attention to me teaching the class or watch a video for everything. You know, the idea is familiarize yourself with the videos, watch them through, jot down some things, or you can go into the homework and just jump right into this and just use these tools. If you get stuck on a question, the best way to send the question to me is click on Ask My Instructor. And you maybe say, hey, Professor Fix, I am having issues with plotting on the coordinate system. Thank you, John. Oops, not Josh, John. You hit send, and that email goes right to my email box. I get it, and like I can then respond right back to you. Sometimes I'll respond to you with just like an email being like, hey, don't forget this. Or a lot of times what I'll do is I'll record a quick little tutorial video. So I'll tutor you on the specific question that you have. And there's the email. It just came in from me to me. All right, sweet. So that's our best practices with MyLab. You know, if you want to take a break, you just click on save. You want to continue without checking your answers? Yes. This thing automatically saves everything anyway, so it's not like you're going to lose anything. You can come here and you see, okay, I got one question mastered. And you can jump ahead. You can do whatever question you want first. All right. And then if you want to go back to the assignments, you got all of your assignments right there linked. And, you know, I have them set up. It looks like, let's see if it'll let you do next week's homework. Yeah, it'll let you work ahead if you wanted to. So you can actually work ahead on other assignments at your own pace kind of deal. All right, so that's kind of my overview of MyLab Math and the process of creating your account, using the tools inside of MyLab to be able to complete your work, the access codes as far as like purchasing options and so forth. So let's just refresh that one more time. I'm just going to close everything out as a wrap up real quickly. So just a quick refresher. So now here I am, I log back into Canvas another day. I come in, you know, I like you to come down here to the bottom. I like you to take a look at, you know, like what's going on this week and being like, okay, so, all right, that's right. I got those to do. Got that little stuff right there. Okay, awesome. I like to go back to the, you know, you can always click this guy right here. It takes you to week 1 assignments. Just like goes on the list. Don't forget, you have additional things you have to do besides just the MyLab. You got a worksheet you need to print out and work those problems, okay? Got a course schedule right there I've talked about. And I'm going to go ahead and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to come back here because that's easier for me to for me visually to see. So I come down here and I've got, don't forget, you got your discussion board. We talked about that. You got your PowerPoints. And then here's your videos. So these are the videos that are more than likely also linked inside of MyLab, but I just wanted to bring those to your attention. So it might be valuable. Maybe this is easy for you. You've been doing graphing and it's stuff that's not an issue for you. But coming and watching this video and getting familiar with it is probably not a bad idea. But it's totally up to you. You're the student. You're in charge of this. I'm here to support you and help respond to questions when you guys get stuck. So there's my introduction about MyLab, creating the account, and so forth. Please don't hesitate to reach out if you have any questions. Thanks for your patience. Once again, I really apologize for the error on my part with the addition. If you